the Tesla WYE V2 with resin tank. Let's have a look. Hey guys, Vick here, back with another review. Today we are looking at this. This is the Tesla WYE V2, the second version of the Tesla WYE, the very popular Tesla WYE, we should say. This is come to me as a kit with the resin tank. Now it's kind of the same tank that we covered very recently with the Falcons kits. It's got a slightly different look to it, a couple of tiny minor cosmetic tweaks, but it takes the same coil, the TXX and the TSX coil heads, which can do anything between 60 and 120 watts, and they are mesh coils as well, as I will show you down low. So this is it. Now the Tesla WYE absolutely changed the game when it first came out. It was the first sort of mod of its kind that had this super light plasticky feel. Really light. It was the lightest mod available on the market at the time that was 2 batteries. Super light, super comfortable, super portable, but still had a very durable feel to it. And you know, that was the first one to do it, and it turned out to be a very popular mod for Tesla. This one is the V2. Now they've completely changed the shape. It's much more sort of squarey, boxy type rectangle type thing. It's got a lot of different styling on it as well. It's got your rivets at the back. It's got this very weird sort of shape on it. It's got this very aggressive fascia. The previous one was more like the RX Relu type shape. This one is a completely different shape. So that's the first thing that's obvious that they've changed. It's still this super lightweight plasticky feel, which is very good, feels very durable, looks good, all that. The next thing that they have changed is the board. It has this latest updated Tesla board in it. It still has the same style of navigation, but it's a much clearer, crisper screen, and yeah, it works very well. All your outputs and all that sort of stuff. Comes with this resin tank on top. Now I think it's a silly name because that name was already kind of taken, and we did talk about that a bit in the Falcons kits reviews. It's a silly name calling it a resin tank, but that is exactly what it is. It's a resin style sub-tank with mesh coils. This is the 2mm TPD version. There is a 4mm version as well for worldwide vapors, and there's a bubble glass with that version that takes it up to 6mm, so you can go from 4 to 6mm with the normal version. I have the TPD 2mm version, so here we go. That's what we got right here. Mesh coil, 60 to 100 watts, absolutely slamming out the flavor. Here we go. Performing very well. It's a very good tank indeed in terms of the way it vapes. It's got top fill, it's got those mesh coil heads, everything you'd expect. Let's dive down low, have a proper look at this kit, then we'll come back up top for pros and cons. See you in a sec. Alright guys, here we are down low with the Tesla SIGs WYE 2. WYE 2, follow up to the very popular Tesla WYE. Quick look at the tank. They're just calling this the resin tank, and it is made with a resin obviously on the outside. Tesla SIGs underneath. This is the 2mm capacity one. Obviously if you're outside of the UK there is a bigger capacity one available. There we go. So you got your drip tip here, goon tip like that. Top fill, you just unscrew it here like that, and you unscrew the base to get to that. Adjustable airflow here, and that just spins and spins, but it's nice and tight, so it's not gonna come off. There we go. So that is that. The coil head for that looks like this. There we go. So it's one of these mesh affairs. It's a very similar tank to the Falcons tank in the Falcons kit that I showed you just last week. So there we go. So that is that. This is the mod, spring loaded 510. Nice big tanks fit on top, no problem. There we go, nice and flush, no issue there. So what have we got? Okay, the one thing I can't really show you on camera, but take my word for it, it's still this very light plasticky material. Very light, very plasticky, Very good. Really cool. It really feels really sturdy and everything. It's just super, super light. Really light, just like the original. So there we go. You've also got, if we come around to this side, you've also got your battery door. Now this is a weird one. This is actually sort of like just press fit. It's like a press fit door. There's no magnets on here. No magnets on here. This just sticks in place. I don't know if that's going to be an issue down the road, but working very well now. It just clicks in. You just click it all in like that. It's all in. I don't know. It's a funny one, that one, but totally works for now. Yes, the super light. Obviously on front you've got your fire button, minus, plus, micro USB. I'm not sure if this is firmware upgradable or not, but there you go. That is the micro USB port. Turning her on, Tesla SIGs, and then this is the screen. And from this point here, it's a classic Tesla mod. You've got your 1, 2, 3, which takes you down into the screen as a menu. So from here you can change normal, soft user, hard. Stick with normal, 1, 2, 3. You can change Canthal to stainless, SS, and all that. 2, 3. You can lock it here, there, 1, 2, 3. So you're basically just navigating around. You've got your menu options as well. Obviously, just using up and down changes your wattage, battery life on top, wattage, ohms, volts, memory, normal, Canthal. So you've got it all going on screen there. Very simple, very easy to use. Tesla have done this navigation style on their boards for ages. It's a one colour screen, but it's very crisp, very clear, and a nice big size, so no issues there. In the hand, very, very comfortable indeed. Finger or thumb is kind of a symmetrical shape, so totally works both ways round. It's not big, but it's not small, this mod. Yeah, kind of in between for these 200 watt bangers. But there we go, that is the Tesla WYE 2 down low. Let's go up top, pros and cons. See you in a sec. Okay guys, that's the Tesla WYE V2 down low with this resin tank. Let me just get you the stats on this tank's coil heads while we're here. So there's the TSXX coil, which is 0.18 mesh, and that is 60 to 110 watts. We also have the TS120X coil, which is 0.15 ohms. Again, it's a mesh coil, and it's 70 to 120 watts. So that is the cloudy one of the two. And both of those coil heads come in the kit, which I have. The mod, if you get it in the kit, is available in a range of colours. It's TPD compatible. If you get the TPD version, you get a 2mm tank. If you're in the rest of the world, you get a 4mm tank with a 6mm bubble glass, which you can upgrade to. So there we go. So that is that. Now, if you were a fan of the original WYE and you are very interested in this, you're maybe considering getting this to upgrade from your original, maybe original seen better days, I don't think you will be disappointed. It's still super light, it's still super hard feeling, it's still got that same material that's made it. It's got a better sub-tank than that original kit had back in the day. These sub-tanks are just getting better and better and better at the moment. They really are. Flavour and clouds is superb with these mesh coils. The key to it, if you're wondering why they've suddenly got better, is they're using Canthal. It's Canthal mesh, and that's the trick. You know, we're trying to use actual mesh when they first started these coils was a big mistake, and they've figured it out and they've fixed it, and they're absolutely slamming now. So there you go. So yeah, so if you had the original WYE, I think there's going to be a lot of similarities, a lot of things you like about this kit. The one thing that is totally different that you may or may not like is the shape. It's completely different to the original WYE. It's a much more traditional box mod shape. It's quite big as well. I always compare all these 200 watt mods, this is 215 technically, but 200 watt mods to this, the RX Gen 2, which is just narrower, shorter, smaller, you know, so it's by no means is it a super small 200 watt mod. But yeah, the one thing that is totally different to the original is that shape of the mod. So I don't know if that's going to be a deal breaker or not for you. I don't know. I do know that the original WYE was very popular, so it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. Me personally, I like the shape. I like this shape because you can finger fire it very comfortably and you can thumb fire it very comfortably as well. So it really is comfortable to use because it's so light and soft. It's very easy in the hand. So it works very well. In terms of the board is spot on. TC is perfect. Wattage output seems absolutely bang on the money. The menu is super easy to use, super intuitive. The screen is really sharp and bright now. The screen is much improved on the original Tesla WYE. So, you know, everything technically, fundamentally, is fine with this. Absolutely fine. No major, like, obvious standout issues or negatives to report with this. Very, very solid mod. So it's just going to come down to the look and the shape, really, as opposed to whether you liked it compared to the original. So there we go. So that's that. But technically, nothing wrong with the mod at all. In terms of the tank, it's vaping great, as I've said, and the coil heads are really, really good. These mesh coil heads are really, really good. I've talked about the capacities, I've talked about the coil head. The one slight thing I will say about these tanks, just to bear in mind, not to put you off, these resin tanks that everyone's doing now, I've even seen a resin RTA now. The one thing to remember about these is they are way more fragile than metal-based tanks, you know. So your stainless steel traditional sub-tank is way more durable than this. I got a little scrape on this tank, and you can literally, if you get something, you can just scratch through this resin. So do bear that in mind. These are slightly more fragile. They're easier to scratch. They're easier to mark up and dint than previous sub-tanks, you know, before people started using resin on the actual tank. Beyond that, though, there's nothing wrong with the sub-tank at all. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's vaping very, very nicely. Loads of clouds, loads of flavour, good durability. It's a really nice vape, and it's a really nice kit. Available in a range of colours. You don't have to go with this crazy red and black one. Do check out the other colours. I think it's a solid kit. It's going to be affordable. It's well made from Tesla, and it's a pretty good kit overall. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe if you're not already. I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.